I bet you probably didn't expect this at all. Yeah, me neither at first. Well, let's go ahead and cut to the chase. Well, following the inauguration of Trump, I've been looking at a few articles, watching a few videos, and doing some thinking, and I've officially decided that I miss being involved in politics and want to go back to it. I know y'all probably wouldn't expect that at all, but the reason why I decided to return to politics is because, well, the main reason why I decided to leave it is because of the toxicity surrounding most of the community. A lot of fighting and arguing, negative press in the media, etc. However, most other things that I like movies, TV shows, video games, books, etc., the communities surrounding them also have some arguing and negative press too. But I usually ignore those parts of the communities or even make fun of them. So I will definitely do the same when it comes to politics. Or if the negativity actually gets to me and starts making me anxious or angry, I'll just take a break from it for a while and then get back to when I have a calm, clear mind. So, yeah, I didn't have to give up on politics when it has the same issues as the communities for other things I enjoy, so that's why I'm rejoining them. Now for the second act of business, what my new preferred political party is. Well, believe it or not, I actually decided to go back to being a Democrat. The reason for that is because I initially thought about being a libertarian, which, if you don't know what that is, the Libertarian Party is basically a very niche party, as libertarians are economically conservative and socially liberal. But the reason why I decided not to be a libertarian is because of their economic conservatism. They are very staunchly against Social Security and have their own alternative for it known as private charity, which involves using donations to help the unemployed and homeless. But I personally don't think it's a very feasible way of assisting them. An article I read online, which I will link below in the description, states that Social Security is very beneficial to helping people get back on track, and abolishing it completely will lead to disaster. And considering I and most of my loved ones occasionally rely on Social Security, I say that we still need it in our country so we can continue to stay afloat until we get back to work. Now I know that most conservatives might say, but voting Democrat is not Christian. Trump is the only one God wants you to vote for. Yeah! Well, believe it or not, there are actually some Democrats out there that are actually Christian. All of the Democrat presidents up to Joe Biden are all Christians. Even the nominees that didn't win, Al Gore, John Kerry, Hillary Clinton, and Kamala Harris, they're all Christians. And research has actually shown us that about 50% of Democrats are indeed Christian, mainly Protestants. Also, I personally believe that God doesn't care what your political beliefs are, as long as you still keep Him and Jesus as your biggest role models. And I'm pretty positive that a lot of political and apolitical Christians can't agree with me on that. So please give it a rest, Grandpa. It's past your nap time. And about the whole subject of people saying, but lots of Democrats are really sketchy. Well, my take on that is, and I know this may be slightly controversial, but please hear me out, is that, yeah, most of them do have their fair share of controversies, but honestly, if you vote for them because you care about the policies they stand for, I honestly don't see it as any different to Republicans voting for Trump despite all the things he did. For example, I'm not very fond of the fact that former President Bill Clinton cheated on his wife, but I won't deny that I personally think he did great things for our country. Rising the economy and family incomes, giving more job opportunities, lowering unemployment, crime rates, poverty rates, teen birth rates, infant mortality rates, government spending, and federal income tax burden, and most diverse cabinet in American history. Those are most of the great things that I want for our country. And I personally believe that we can still achieve all of that by voting Democrat. Of course, not everyone has to vote Democrat, just me and other Democrats are politically ambiguous people that vote Democrat. So, when the next election comes, I'll definitely be voting Democrat. And yes, even the nominee is Kamala again. And yeah, that's pretty much why I'm going back to the Democrat side. And as I've always said in previous posts, to all the naysayers that talk shit about me because of my political beliefs, I don't care. Don't matter to me at all. I don't care less because according to Weird Al, caring less means that you do care. At least a little. But me, I have absolutely no cares at all whatsoever. Zero. All that matters is that I stay true to myself. But for those that do accept and support me regardless of my political beliefs, thank you. I really appreciate you being in my life, and I love you a lot. Excuse me. However, I know I've said plenty of stuff about everybody getting along and world peace coming to the entire world, but let's be realistic. It's just not really obtainable because there are always going to be people that disagree and fight with one another, and there's nothing really we can do about it. However, I do believe that I should always be a loving, accepting, and supporting person so that way I'll make lots of people happy and they'll pay it forward and do the same to others. I think we should all work on doing that regardless of who we are and what we believe. And maybe, just maybe, the world can be a better place. It may not happen anytime soon, but here's hoping it ever does. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a nice day.
According to this, I'd say we've lost our way.
This isn't a map. It's a campaign flyer for the Republican Party.
I know. That's why I'd say we've lost our way. As a country, I mean.
Wacko, I wholeheartedly agree with you, my homeboy.